Hi, I'm Dr. Hay. Let's talk about centripetal acceleration. Okay, let's say you've got a ball or something attached to a rope or a string, and you're whirling it about over your head in a circle or anywhere in a circle. So this ball is on the edge of a string and it's being whirled about in circular motion, maybe at a constant speed about in circular motion. Now I'm going to try to convince you that there is an acceleration here towards the center of the circle at all times. So there's an acceleration for this ball toward the center of the circle. That is the centripetal acceleration. And if the ball is right here, then the centripetal acceleration points towards the center of the circle, etc. All the way around. The acceleration is always pointed towards the center. Now, you've heard of the term centrifugal acceleration. That's a false acceleration, and what that is the feeling of, for example, if you're on a merry-go-round ride or something that's taking a curve, you feel like you are being pulled toward the outside of the circle. So if you were on a ride like this, you would feel like you were being pulled in this direction. And that is what people say is called centrifugal acceleration, but that is false. The actual acceleration is pointed in the opposite direction. So let's think about this ball on the string. Consider for a moment that the rope breaks. Let's say it breaks at one particular instant. Make a prediction. What happens at that moment when the string breaks? Okay, the ball is right here and the string breaks. It was going about the circle just like this, and now all of a sudden you might think it's going to fly straight off this way. In fact, it's got this tangential velocity at just this moment, and it's going to continue in the direction that it was going because now there's no centripetal acceleration. In other words, the force the acceleration associated with the force of the rope pulling it towards the center of the circle. And so it's actually going to fly off this way. But you might think, okay, I've been on merry-go-rounds and I have let go of the bar and jumped off the outside of the merry-go-round, and I am sure that I flew straight away from the merry-go-round and not tangential to the circle. Okay, so let's think about that bar that you let go of. Now let's think about this as a merry-go-round and not a ball with a string. Okay, so here's the bar that you let go of right here. At a later time, and you're facing the merry-go-round, so as you're jumping off, flying away from the merry-go-round, you're still looking at the bar that you just let go. And of course, it's still right in front of you as you fly away. Okay, so at a later time, that bar is right here, but here you are, right there, looking right back at this bar. Sorry, that's supposed to be a straight line up like that. And now, at a later time, you are right here, and here's that bar. So of course it looks like to you, you flew straight away from the merry-go-round, but in fact to an external observer, really what's happening is you're moving tangential to the circle. So why do you feel like you are being pushed to the outside of the circle? If you're holding onto that bar and you let go, you truly do fly off the outside of the merry-go-round. So why am I telling you you're actually accelerating towards the center of the circle? And the answer, I don't know if you're going to like this, the answer is simply, well, you are still moving in a circle, so you must be accelerating towards the center of the circle. Let's put it this way. If you don't let go, if none of this happens, and you're still whirling about this merry-go-round, at some point you had a velocity that was like this, and a later time you had a velocity that was like this. Some force kept you moving in a circle, something that was changing your velocity, constantly changing it towards this direction so that you're always going in a circle. And so there must be a centripetal acceleration because you are constantly changing your velocity to curve towards the center of the circle. So what you're actually feeling is a result of Newton's third law. For example, let's say you're on a ride and you're being pushed towards the outside of this car or the curve here, what you're actually feeling is the equal and opposite force of the car door or whatever it is pushing back on you. And that's what we perceive as centrifugal acceleration, but what we actually have is centripetal acceleration.